NGN's Global Challenges Conference. The Next Generation Nations Global Challenges Conference is the annual conference held by Next Generation Nations which tests the students' abilities to fix real global issues. Teams of 2 to 4 members are expected to prepare a pitch and presentation that relates to solving a global issue that relates to the NGN 2120 goals. Winners of the competition are given seed money to execute on their pitch or idea. This competition is normally held in person in California, but in 2021 will be held virtually. Participation incentive. This conference gives out thousands of dollars in seed money to winners of the competition. Prior prize amounts have totaled up to $15,000 in cash. The winners are featured on all of Next Generation Nations media outlets, including our social media and newsletter. It is also important to note that winning is not required in order to receive benefits from the conference. If your team's pitch is notable to any of the judges or investors, your team may be contacted by the aforementioned judges or investors regardless of your placement. Essentially, NGCC is the avenue for you to turn your dreams into a reality. You can meet tons of people, including business professionals and your peers. NGCC 2021 will consist of 4 events: Speak Up, V Podcasts, STEM, and Policy. We will be talking about some descriptions of each event and how to participate. Please note that the information may be subject to change up until 1 month to the registration deadline. Please note that all new information will be posted on our social media and should be relayed from your state officers to your chapter. Side events. Our side events are passive events. This means that these events do not require a live presentation or speech aspect. Rather, these events can be entered at any time. Prizes for these events tend to be smaller than those offered for the main event. Speak Up. NGN Speak Up is a program where you can get to speak about an experience or project you have undertaken in the past. This is a solo event. Speak Up consists of 2 parts. The first part consists of you, the speaker, talking about your experience or project accompanied by a slideshow presentation. The second part consists of a short Q&A session relating to your project. There will be 5 high-level questions that you will be asked to answer pertaining to your project. After the Speak Up session is over, your video will be edited and uploaded to the official NGN YouTube channel. Your goal is to promote your video. The amount of views, likes, and comments will be undertaken into consideration when it comes to how well you place in your event. Prizes will be offered to the speaker that does the best in terms of metrics. Furthermore, the best speaker will be invited to speak at NGCC as a guest speaker. Winners will be announced prior to the date of the conference. If you have already completed a Speak Up after NGCC 2020, you are automatically entered into this competition. V Podcasts. NGN V Podcast is a program where a chapter is tasked with creating and maintaining a podcast throughout the year. This is a solo or group event. V Podcasts have to relate to one of the NGN 2120 goals in terms of podcast episodes. The podcast creators are responsible for the creation of cover art that compiles with NGN policy alongside editing the podcast and submitting the podcast episode via our Google form. For more detailed information on what V Podcast is and how to sign up, please check out the Instagram post published on the Instagram page. Your goal is to promote your podcast and get as many listens as possible. The amount of downloads or listens your podcast determines the winner. There will be only one winner. The most successful podcast will be invited to do a live episode at NGCC. Winners will be announced prior to the date of the conference. And if you have already entered a podcast after NGCC 2020, you are automatically entered into this competition. Now the main events. The NGCC main events are pitch competitions with 2 components: a prejudged report that explains why your proposal is worth investing in, and a live presentation that is given on the date of the conference. This is a group event that allows for groups of 2 to 4 people. The prejudged report will be collected on a date prior to the conference. This is to be announced. To assist you in these events, a competition guide will be released. Please stay tuned on our social media to stay updated on when these competition guides will be available. There are common traits between the 2 pitch competitions. For starters, in both pitch competitions, STEM and policy, your goal is to pick a specific issue within the NGN 2120 goals and develop a situation for your solution. The solution is extremely open-ended. It'll be a product, business, social movement, legislation, or something else. And here we have a picture of the NGN 2120 goals. For example, you may focus on Goal 1, eliminating hunger. From there, you want to narrow down this goal to fix a specific problem, such as eliminating hunger within your community, bolstering donations to a local food bank, or developing a method to improve farming efficiency. You are permitted to be as broad or specific as you'd like. After you have decided on a goal and issue, you have to pick whether you want to choose the STEM pathway or the policy pathway. More information on how to know which one to choose will be provided in the further sections. After you have done this, you must develop some form of result or data to demonstrate that your policy is effective. Examples might include development of a prototype or executing a fundraiser to bolster your social movement. Both pitches contain two components, a paper and live presentation. Details on how to succeed on both will come in the presentation guide. The competition guide is coming soon, so stay tuned on our social medias to be notified upon its release. However, the paper is projected to be a multi-page document in which you will make a case as to why your proposal is worth investing in. Information such as financial models or problem definitions will be requested of you. The live presentation will take place during NGCC and will consist of a slideshow presentation presented by the team. The slideshow presentation will consolidate the information presented in your paper. Your score will be determined by both the paper and presentation. The paper will be collected prior to the conference. Winners will be announced after the conference. STEM. The STEM pathway consists itself with any solution, business, movement, product, or anything else that is similar that utilizes science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. Examples of this include, but are not limited to, software, hardware, medicine, architecture, blueprint designs, or education relating to STEM. To prepare for the STEM competition prior to the release of the competition guide, NGN strongly suggests you develop a prototype of your solution. If you are developing hardware, attempt to develop a prototype. If you are developing software, create the program. More details will be provided in the competition guide. The policy pathway concerns itself with any solution, business, movement, legislation, or anything similar that utilizes the humanities, community service, legal system in order to provide a solution to the 2120 goals. To prepare for the policy competition prior to the release of the competition, NGN strongly suggests you execute it to indicate that your solution is effective. If you are proposing as legislation, create a petition or fundraiser to indicate that people are willing to support your solution. If you are offering a new tutoring system, find a client base you can test it on to gather data. More details will be provided in the competition guide. Registration. Registration information will be released sometime between late October and early November. Stay tuned for more information on our social media. The website you can visit is ngn.org for more information or any of these social links. In order to be eligible to partake in NGCC, you must be part of an NGN chapter. If you are not already part of one, be sure to fill out the chapter registration form, which will be linked below or right here in the presentation. If you have any questions, make sure to ask one of your chapter leaders or email directly to NGN International Team.